All right. We're back. So everybody give yourself a big round of applause. Okay, I need team leaders to go over by their charts. Team leaders, go over by your charts. Team leaders, by your charts. Need you to do a quick tally. Count them up. Okay, so team number one. Team number one. What is your number? Oh, we need the microphone on over here.
116.
116. How many people did you have on your team, team one?
We have almost 7 people.
Almost 7?
I really don't remember. We got split when we went out. So.
Almost 7. Okay, almost 7 people did 116. Team number 2.
We have 104.
104. How many people did you have on your team?
I think we only had 5 people.
5 people on the team? Okay. Team number 3, do we have a number?
106.
106. So right now, team number 2 is doing push-ups. Team number 4.
164.
164. Big number. How many do you have on your team? 8? 8. Did that include the spouse? The one spouse?
No, she left. She put ours on the other side.
Okay. 164. Team number 5. Who's team number 5? Who's the team leader? Okay. We're going to come back. It's 77. Well, let's make sure. We'll come back to. Let's go to team number 6. Team number 6 missing. Who's the host? Who's the leader for team number 6? He disappeared? We lost the leader. This is real life network marketing.
We have somebody that stepped up here.
93.
What?
93.
93. Team 6? Nice work. Team number 7?
84, 6 people.
84. Well done. Team number 8?
157, 6 people.
157. Team 9?
6 people, 204.
204. And just for the people at home, are they watching this, guys? Can we put it up so people here can see it too? That'd be great. All right. Team number 10.
Team 10. We had 102, and we had 7 people on the team.
102. Team 11.
We had 6 people, and we had a total of 94.
94. Team 12.
7 people and 106.
106. Team 13.
7 people, 85.
85. Oh, team number 7 is going, are you kidding me? That's brutal. Oh. Team 14.
I think we have 6 and 73.
73. Team number 7 is saying, oh, thank God. Team 15.
We had 7 people and 177.
177. Team number 16.
We have 6 people on the team and 149.
149. So, let's give everybody a big round of applause, all right? Give me what do you think for Team 5?
We're working on it.
Working on it? Okay.
77.
77. Ooh. No wonder they were nervous to go up there. They didn't know how close they were. So let's do some individual recognition first. How many people stand up if you scheduled at least 10 appointments personally? Take a look at the room. 10 or more, 10 or more, 10 or more. All right, stay standing if you did 15 or more. Sit down if you didn't do 15. 15 or more, still standing? Stay standing if you did 20 or more. Okay? 25. 25. Lose a few. 30. 30 appointments. Stay standing. Nice. All of you over there, if you haven't done 30, you better be sitting down, team leaders. All right. 35 or more. Stay standing. 40 or more. Stay standing. Wow. 45 or more. Really? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have done 45 or more. 5 that have done more than 45 in the room. Or more. 50 or more. 50 or more. Ah. 55 or more. We have our winner. Wow. So how many? 60, right on the button. All right, so give me your name. Y-A-H-E-L did 60. From Italy. No excuses. The rest of you folks. Who did over 50 but not 60? How many did you do? 53. And what did you do? 52? 51. So 53. And give me your name. Christina? Christina. 53 from Costa Rica. From Puerto Rico and Costa Rica, yeah? Dominican Republic, that's about it. I'm sorry. I knew it was one of those. I knew it had 2 names. Give me your name, 52. Monica. So that's our gold, silver, and bronze medalists. Monica did 52. And if any of you at home beat any of those numbers, please send it in to us. Put it up on the Facebook fan page. Let us know. But for those of you that are in the room, the top 3, I'm going to give each of you a VIP ticket to the GoPro Recruiting Mastery, which is $500. So, 1, 2, 3. You just need to go back and talk to Chad Porter before you leave. Okay? And he'll make sure you get it. So, now let's look at the teams. Let's start with our first place winner, team number 9. 204. That's Bart and company. Congratulations. Well done. You did how many? 45. I know. I like it. I like it. 45. Congratulations. You guys get, what did we say? You guys get like a free pack of gum? For the event. Recruiting Mastery tickets, okay? So it's your responsibility to get names, phone numbers, and email addresses for your team. Bring them to Chad Porter, and he'll make sure that everything gets sent out.
Sir, appreciate it.
Well done.
Right.
Give him a big round of applause. 204. Oh, where's the team? Where's the team? Where's the team? Team should stand up. Team stand up. Well, you got number 1 on the team. Here we go. Here we go. Well done, everybody. Great job. Number 2, we got to go to team number 15. Where's team number 15? Stand up. Team 15. Well done, well done. This is the team right here. Are you a team 15? Awesome, well done. And you're the team leader? It's your responsibility to get everybody's names, phone numbers, emails to Chad. Congratulations, everybody. Well done. You get the home study courses sent out to you or anybody that you want it sent to. We'll take care of you with that. And team number 3 is here, right? Team number 3 is, or the third place is team number 4 with 164. Team number 4, stand up. Well done. Excellent job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. Now we have another prize. It looks to me like it's team 14. So team 14, I know, come here, come here. We love you very much. But you learn from, negative experiences as well as positive experiences. It's really good. Still did a great job. You still did a great job. Was it only 4 of you?
Well, one of them left on a flight.
Oh, here's 5.
Here comes.
Come on. All right, here's the question. I'm gonna leave it up to the panel of judges. Do we make them do 20 push-ups? Should we make them do something? Jumping jacks? You'd rather do push-ups? It's not a jumping jack dress, she says. What can we do? Huh? No, that ain't gonna work. We can have a dancing contest. All right. So we need music. And no. It's an individual dancing contest. And we're going to pick first, second, and third place. Okay? So we're going to start with you. You're going to be the first one right up here. We're going to have music. No. We're going to have music. I'm a judge. All right. That's contestant number 1. Contestant number 2, you're up. Oh, that's really, really sad. Contestant number 3, rock the house. Ah. Okay, she's got skills. Contestant number 4. All right. Contestant number 5. And contestant number 6. All right. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Well done. We had to put you through something, otherwise I think you win the prize for best dancer right here. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. Thank you for doing the work. All right, give them another big round of applause. All right, get out of here. Okay, I need 2 microphones, one on this side, if possible. All right. Let me tell you something. The last 3 hours of your life is the network marketing business in work mode. That is what we do. That's what we do when we're working. That's what we do when we're in recruiting mode. That's what we do when we're in 90-day game plan mode. That's what we do when we are actively building our business. And it was such a shock for most of you that it lets me know what you've been doing, which is what most people do in network marketing, is just kind of hang out. You just kind of are there a little while longer. You're hanging out. You're going through the motions, show up at the meetings, talk to somebody occasionally, share how excited you are. But you're not working. You haven't been working for a while, but that's okay. Sometimes you need a trick. Sometimes you need to clear the mechanism. Sometimes you need a little competition. Sometimes you need a deadline. You see all the little things that we put together? We put teams together. And what did you learn from the teams? You learned that support is important. A little encouragement, doing something together is important. Where the weak get strength from the strong. And sometimes the strong get strength from the weak. When the weak have a breakthrough, the scared, the frightened have a breakthrough, and all of a sudden they're doing more than what the strong people were doing, it can inspire them too. For some of you that have been around for a while, I'll bet you learned that, oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I worked. I did this when I first got started, but I haven't done this for a long time. A lot of the leaders, that's the lesson inside of that message. So let's go on this side. Oh, also, for all 3 teams, we have signed copies of Beach Money from Jordan Adler that he left back in the corner. So before you leave, go back to that corner and we'll take care of you with that, okay? Signed copies also for the first, second, and third place winners. Anybody that did over 40. Don't we have enough? How many do you have? 29? Yeah, but I think that's enough. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. And if it's not, then we'll have Jordan run some more down here or something. Okay, so share with me what this experience did for you. Raise your hand, and we're going to go back and forth on each side. We got a microphone on both sides. Microphone wherever you'd like. You guys start.
It was absolutely exhilarating. I tell you, I couldn't get a hold of some people. I left a message on their, phone. Told them to text me. They text me. Okay, when do you want to meet? I mean, it was just incredible. The more that I got yeses, the more I wanted to hurry to get through the no's or the didn't response to get to the yeses. So it was really fun.
Did you notice that you didn't get very many no's, just no responses? Not a lot of no's, really. Some people might have pushed back at you if they were kind of hot market people. What's going on? What is this? Tell me more. You got to give me more detail. That kind of stuff. But that's actually pretty rare when it comes to this. The no-shows. I want to tell you something. Let's add this up real quick. Somebody have a calculator can add this up? 1,891 appointments. 1,891. And we had 16 times an average of what? About, let's say 7? 7 people times 16 is 70, 42, 112. So 112 people approximately in the room. So divide 1891 by 112. What does that work out to? How much? Sorry? About 16.88. So about 17 per person. What did I tell you we were going to average when we started? 15 to 20. Isn't that weird? Why do I know that? Because it's just what happens when we do this. So if you got together with a group of 5 people in your local market to do this for 3 hours, what could you expect? About 15 per. So you plus the 5, you're going to do 6 times 15, which is how much? 90? 90 appointments in 3 hours with 5 people. I'm doing this with a company at their leadership event for 3,000 people for 3 hours. Their top leaders. 3,000 people. Can you imagine? If they book 20 appointments each, that's 60,000 appointments booked in the next 30 days with the leadership of that company. I give them a lot of credit because it's pretty radical to do at a leadership event, the company. But they heard about the results of this, and they're like, this is what we want. We want everybody coming out of the convention just going absolutely bananas. So 15 on average. 17 is what we did here over the course of 3.5 hours. Or 3 hours is what it would normally be about 15. We had a little bit extra time. What did you learn?
Activity truly does just take away the fear.
Activity takes away the fear.
Just by doing it, the first, I got up to about the C's in my phone.
Yep.
It started just going away, and it started just to flow, and then it hit like runs where there were 5, 6, 7 in a row where I got people on the phone. And by the way, 51, not one person that I got on the phone said no.
Right.
Not one.
Not one person said no. Remember what I said yesterday. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. If you made the same calls that you made in the last 3 hours in the next month, the next 30 days, your results would be a tiny fraction because you were in the mode. You were psyched up. You were prepared. You were mentally focused. You weren't doing anything else. You weren't checking your messages. You weren't doing anything other than people messaging you saying, yeah, I want to get in touch. You were focused on one task to set the appointments. So here's my question. What does your calendar look like now? Isn't it something? It's full. It's full. What if every single person on your team had a calendar that looked like yours looks right now for the next 30 days? What if that happened? Okay, on this side.
Just very motivating.
You're motivated.
It's going to kickstart me, and it's going to help me kickstart my team.
It built confidence. Yep.
It's exciting.
What? Anything surprise anyone? Anybody have a surprise over here?
There's people I've been trying to talk to, or at least call, for the past 2 years. Haven't had a single response. Sent them a text saying, I need to talk to you, it's important. And instantly they called. I set 9 appointments up in about 5 minutes.
Isn't that something? Who else was surprised by something? Right here.
I've been trying to call a few people for the past year. They would never pick up their phone, ever. Even if you leave a voice message or a text message. And then for some reason, going through that speed, they were picking up their phone call.
They're picking up the phone. Something happens when your energy changes. Success loves speed. Things, all of a sudden, people are picking up. And maybe they weren't picking up as much. You were just calling more people.
Yeah, I was just calling.
You weren't just calling the one they didn't answer. Oh, I'll try another call tomorrow. You made another call, and you started noticing more people picking up, but it probably was the same percentage. You just condensed it so far down. But something happens when you get in the mode. Something happens when your energy changes. Did you notice that your voice messages were changed by at the end versus at the beginning? What was the difference there? Because at the beginning it was like, well, tentative, apologetic. At the end, it was bang, 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 call me. Right? Your posture changed because you got in a different mode. How about this side?
Hi, thank you. You know, that list of the fears and the doubts and that kind of stuff started to creep in after the first 3 or 4 people were like, nah, I don't really have time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I kept pushing against, you know, my fears, saying, don't call them. And then my posture started to change. It's like, you know, well, what's this about? Well, I'd like to give you the details when we meet. I don't really have time to go into it right now. If you don't want to meet, that's fine. Just go to the next person. Well,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got some time. I can give you an hour. I'm like, good. Okay, bye. I got to go.
Yep. How about over here? Any other lessons learned? Any other things that you figured out? You sponsored like 3 or 4 people, right? 3 people in the last 3 hours?
Go for the no. And when people go on your list that say no now or don't give you a decision, they don't say no, they just are evasive and don't want to talk to you, don't give up on them.
Right.
The guy sitting next to me didn't give up on me for 17 months till I said yes. It was the right time for me. Going through the process of the calling, the more calls I was making, the more passionate, enthusiastic I was getting. I was getting faster in my speech, in my vocabulary, and I called 3 people that sensed it that had said no, they don't want to be involved, and all of a sudden those 3 people said yes, I'll be involved.
Your energy
One
was
is in,
different.
2, the second's coming in tomorrow, and the third on Monday.
The energy is different. And you know why I talk about this, maintaining this burst for a longer period of time? Because what if we did this exercise for 15 minutes and then we stopped? You wouldn't have had the breakthrough. You wouldn't have got there. You wouldn't have got there. You wouldn't have got to that other confident side. You wouldn't have built that new groove into your brain. Where's the young lady that was really nervous? I'm not going to ask you to come up or anything. Hi. She's very, very nervous. She had a little bit of almost an anxiety attack at the very beginning of it. And she came up and we sat down and talked, and she said, look, I'm here to support my husband. This is very uncomfortable for me. So we had a little chat. We talked about it. There's some tears involved, and, it's an emotional thing having a breakthrough like that. And I, gave her permission to just experience this and to just, get comfortable and move through the process, go sit with her husband, work with her husband as they were starting to make some of these calls, doing these stuff. And I said, you don't have to do a thing, but I'm going to give you permission to go ahead and do it if you feel comfortable, when you feel comfortable. And how many did you book? 8. How awesome is that? And your husband, how many did he book? 10. So how about that? I really wanted her to beat him bad. I wanted her to beat him really bad. But think about that. That's a breakthrough. That's something that's important. She found her path to being able to do it in her style. It wasn't her husband's style. It was her style, with her context and her friends, the way she wanted to do it, right? She found her way to be able to do it. And here's the good news. It's not about anything other than educating people who are not educated about what we do, helping them understand that we have a better way if they have an entrepreneurial desire, helping them understand that we have products and services that will help them live a better life. See what I mean? That's what we're doing. We're not trying to trick anybody. We're trying to help. So those are the things that make me happy about what I do, and will make you happy about what you do. And there's lots of people, even by the end, they said, I was scared, now I'm terrified. This is serious stuff. Oh my gosh. This is for real, and I have to deal with, why am I afraid? Why is this making me nervous? Why am I so bound up? And you need to examine those things, because those are the things that are in the way of your breakthrough. What did I say I wanted from you when we started? For you to be able to become fearless. For you to be able to step through it. And I promise you, we did it for 3 hours. I used your example as an attorney several times since we talked. And my friend Colin we met in Cabo San Lucas, and we talked about, he was an attorney, and we did the math with his career. And it takes 16,000 hours of practice, either in classroom or homework, plus studying for the bar, etc. 16,000 hours to become an attorney. And what's your best year as an attorney?
Financially?
Yeah.
Best year was probably $600,000.
$600,000, okay? Successful attorney. 16,000 hours. Why are you here? Why are you working in the network marketing business?
Well, the reason that I decided to make a change is because in my business, I've gotten really good at attacking people and tearing them down, and it's not fulfilling. I decided to go into a business where I build people up and actually.
I love that. I love that. So here's the big point that I want you to see is sometimes a career that pays good money doesn't help you live a good life. You might have to do things that you don't like to do. And that's where he got himself into. But he was willing, because society kind of rewards this particular path, he was willing to invest 16,000 hours of his life. Plus how much money before you became an attorney?
Probably $50,000 for total education.
$50,000 for education, not including living expense, not including surviving. Okay? Right. $50,000 just to pay the educational institution.
Right.
In order to start. And he went through 16,000 hours of practice. We just went through 3. 3 hours of practice. We got a couple ex-football players here in the room. How many hours of practice in order to become an elite athlete?
I added it up one time. It was probably
14 to 20,000 hours. Yep. Right. 14 to 20,000 hours to become an elite athlete. Okay? We just went through 3 hours. Yes, it might be painful. Yes, you might be sore tomorrow. Your brain might be really, really bruised. I'm serious. You might be exhausted. You hit the pillow and just like, I don't want to think anymore because I'm exhausted. But if you do another 3 tomorrow and another 3 the next day, and here's the thing, you're going to get paid for these 3. It's not just free practice like an athlete or somebody in college. It's not, you don't have to do it for free. You're going to get paid big money. Being bad, you're still going to get paid. Being at the absolute pee-wee bottom level, you're still going to get paid good money for what you're doing. 3. Here's the other thing I want you to understand. These 1,891 appointments that have been set, that number will double in the next 24 hours, just from your efforts. The people that you've reached out to, that you didn't reach, they'll call you back, they'll send a text, they'll send a message, you'll get an email, and you'll take whatever appointments that you had, and you'll double them. Some of you that were trying to call people in Australia at 6 in the morning, or Italy at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday, that's a little bit of a challenge sometimes. So those people are going to call you back. You're going to double these appointments. So you're not getting an average of 15. You're really getting an average of about 30 for 3 hours worth of effort. So let's talk about this. How could you implement this strategy into your business? Remember, I told you yesterday about David Ross that came to the 3-day breakthrough and left there feeling fearless, and he went back to the United Kingdom? Guess what he did? 5 or 6 times a week, he got together with small groups, and he did a 2 or 3 hour blitz. He'd get 5 or 6 people together, he'd teach them how to schedule an appointment, and he'd start the phones going. They'd go for 2 or 3 hours. And that group would fill their calendar for 2 to 4 weeks. Then he'd go to another group. He'd get 8 or 10 people in a room. They'd do it for 2 or 3 hours that night. Then he'd go to the next group. He'd get 8 or 10 people in the room. He'd go for 2 or 3 hours, fill their calendar. And he just filled calendar after calendar after calendar after calendar after calendar after calendar. He did it himself. He filled up his calendar. If you looked at his calendar, it's just packed. And so it's packed by everybody in his group. If you got back, some of you have some events where you're going to go teach your local group what you learned here this weekend. How many people have an event like that when you get home? Okay, if you don't, you should schedule one. Tell everybody, I'm coming home and I'm bringing my notes. You should come sit down and listen. But make sure during that period of time, if you put 50 people in the room and you do this for 3 hours, what are you going to get? What is that, 750? 50 people in a room is going to have 750 appointments in your local market in the next 2 to 3 weeks. 750. Okay? So maybe you do small home meetings with this. Maybe when you get a new person started, you sit down and you help them face their fear and you do it with them. Did you notice how valuable the coaching aspect was as you went through it? Plan, do, review. I tried this, it didn't work. Oh, I'm going to try this. Oh, now I'm going to try. Did you see how creative you started to get? You started to get creative finding context. You started to get creative. Well, if they didn't answer, I'm going to send them a text. Oh, that worked pretty good. I got a response back. Okay, I'm going to do more of that. You listen to somebody else say something and say, oh, that sounded good. I want to say that. You hear somebody with really great energy versus somebody who's all bound up. Maybe there's somebody in the group that there's some tears, that they need to go have a little moment with you in the next room to have a conversation, to help them, because they joined because they have a dream, but they're still scared. And usually the scared stuff comes from old stuff, childhood stuff. You know, somebody told you you were nobody. You know what I mean? Or you were raised in a environment that everything but perfection was punished. Maybe that was how you grew up. So you don't want to do something and not have all the answers and not have it all figured out. Maybe that family situation didn't reward entrepreneurial thoughts or making mistakes or failing your way to the top. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it was all about appearances. Who knows? But you have an opportunity. Guess what? Me and my friend from Victoria, we're buddies now, aren't we? We're on a different level. Way different than if you wouldn't have been honest about your emotions. When you were honest with your emotions, we could talk. We're buddies now, forever. There was an opportunity. That vulnerability was an opportunity to build a relationship, to build a connection with another human being and really care about somebody else. So don't be freaked out if somebody starts crying at your presentation. And say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Just say, hold on, everybody, talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in a little bit. And just let them know that you care. What did I tell you? I didn't tell you anything magical. I just gave a damn. And that's the truth. I just really cared about you having what you want out of this and experiencing. And I let her know that she's a powerful woman. She is. Way more powerful than maybe even she gives herself credit for. There's stuff inside of her that's ready to shock the world. You have an opportunity to plant that seed in someone else and to be a friend. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity. So don't get freaked out about emotion. Don't get freaked out when somebody gets paralyzed. That's a chance to build a connection. Okay? So, one, you can do this with a large group. Is it fun? It's kind of fun, scary, freaky. But when you're teaching it and you're doing it with them, it's way less scary. You can tell the story of this and they'll say, okay, let's do it together. We'll figure it out. And did you notice the first half an hour or an hour, everybody was still all kind of bound up? And then slowly they found their rhythm. They got into it. They got moving. And then at about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, everybody got exhausted. Did you notice? Everybody's like, oh, dude, you're killing me. It's like, no, I can't do another one. I struggled to get to where I'm at. Did you notice what I was doing everywhere? How many you got? I got 8. I want to see you get 20. And people pushing for a little bit more, setting some expectation, putting a challenge out there, creating a little competition. So you can do this with a large group. 1. 2, you can do it with small groups. You do it with small groups. Get together 5 or 6 people in a house on an evening or a Saturday or whatever, and just do it for a little while. If you have an hour, do it for an hour. If you have 2 hours, do it for 2 hours. I like 3 hours because I think that first hour people are just getting moving. They're getting past all their excuses. The last hour they're getting a little bit tired. But here's what I like about 3 hours. If you book 15 appointments, your schedule for the next 2 weeks is just amazing. It's just packed. You've got so much going on by the time you get home that you have to go to work. You can't take a week off because people are waiting to meet you. Now, what did you come here for? A 90-day game plan. You know what I just showed you? Was what 3 hours of a 90-day game plan looks like. That's the truth. That's the truth. So, if you want to learn how to get creative, if you want to learn how to build up some endurance, if you want to learn how to... Imagine if you did what you just did for 3 hours for 12 hours a day for 6 days. It would just be unbelievable, right? You'd reach everybody eventually. You'd get a hold of all of them. You'd fill your calendar. And then guess what you would do? You'd be working with the people who joined, helping them do the same thing, sitting with them, coaching them, encouraging them, motivating them, inspiring them. Right? You get your inner circle together, your 5 or 10, and say, okay, we're going to go. And we're not going to go for 3 hours. We're going to go for 8 hours. We're going to start at 9 a.m. on Saturday. We're going to go till 5 p.m. and we're not going to stop. We'll send pizza in. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go crazy. So if you do that for 8 hours instead of 5, you'll end up with probably 35 each. Somewhere in that range, 35 to 40 each. Let's call it 40. You got 10 people in your inner circle. You now have 400 appointments scheduled in the next 10 days, 2 weeks. 400. You can run around, do 2-on-1s with them, as many as you can. You can call in, do 3-way calls after they do the presentation. You got so much activity going on in your group. I promise you, each one of you are going to recruit just from this last 3 hours. Anywhere from 3 to 7 on average, you're going to recruit in the next 2 weeks. He already recruited 3. They're coming in already. Just from talking to them, they're ready to go. How many people already have people ready to go from this experience? Ready to go. You're very confident they're going to join. Right? Okay. So, understand. What does a 90-day game plan look like? 1, you're filling your funnel all the time. You're talking to prospects all the time. You're making things move all the time. 2, you're using this and the hot market approach and everything else. Brand new people come in. They're going to send out 30 texts to their 30 hottest people to get that product moving. You're going to do a blitz day with those 10 people, and they're going to schedule 400 appointments over the course of the next 2 weeks. From all of that activity, those people are going to be calling you, doing 3-way calls. You're going to be doing 2-on-1s. You're going to be sitting at the coffee shop. You're going to be meeting people with small groups. You're going to be running, inviting people to the house. I don't have time. You got to come to me. Everybody bring some people over to the house tonight. We're going to talk about the opportunity. That's just one day. How many people saw the home study course from GoPro Recruiting Mastery last year? How many people saw that? How many people watched Holton Buggs' presentation? What did that look like? It looked like this. It looked like this. What did he do with passion and energy? He just called everybody and said, here's what we're going to do. And then he taught them to do the same thing, and they taught people to do the same thing. You want to get momentum. The last 3 hours is a tiny little glimpse of what it looks like to do it for 90 days. So you might say, well, once I fill my pipeline, and I really do talk to everybody there is, because it won't take me long at this pace to talk to everybody there is. All I'm saying is once you bring in 20 people, you're going to be so busy with those 20 people, helping them talk to their people and doing 3-way calls and 2-on-1s and getting started trainings and game plans, teaching people the fundamentals, teaching people how to do a blitz, teaching people how to do a hot market, teaching people how to move the product, teaching people what your vision is for the next 90 days, telling the story. You're going to be so busy, you're not going to have time to recruit anyway. You'll have brought in, if you will continue what you just did and do it for about another, this is going to scare you, it's going to freak you out, but about another 20 hours or so of what you just did. If you do it for about another 20 hours, you'll recruit your 20. You'll recruit your 20. Personally, each one of you will recruit 20. If you do it, just do what you did just now for another 20 hours on top of what you just did in these 3. Huh? You might recruit your 20 out of what you did out of your 50-some that you already scheduled. But for those of you on average, because there's some of you that had 5, there's some of you that had 7, there's some of you that had 8. But if you really go after this for another about 20 hours, maybe 30 hours, that could be done over the course of the 1 week for sure, even if you're part-time. 1 week. You can schedule the appointments that the result of those appointments is going to bring in 20 people. All you have to do is just tell the story. You've already done the hard work. The hard work is scheduling the appointment, filling up the calendar. Now you just got to tell the story. Here's what we have. Here's why I'm doing it. Here's the support I'm going to provide. Here's the vision. Here's how people are going to benefit. Here's what we're going to do together. It's going to be special. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be amazing. You got me? So another 20 to 30 hours, and you're done with your class of 2014. The class of 2014 is done. You just have to go walk the walk and do the work, do the presentations. It's over already. If you teach other people how to bring in their class of 2014, then you work with that whole group for the whole rest of the year. You're working and driving and pounding it and motivating, inspiring, and encouraging. Right? Helping them face their fear. Telling them the story of how you got your 20. I never thought I could do it. I was involved with this company for 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And I was, nervous and scared. And I was making calls on my honeymoon, for crying out loud. And we still booked 15 appointments. Now you're exhausted, right? But that's all right. You're honeymooners. You'll be fine later tonight. See what I'm saying? This business gets easy if you do it hard. You know what I mean? If you go after it, it actually gets easy. If you just wander around, crawling through the business, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm registered for the next convention. I'm still using the product. I talk to people every once in a while. This business is tough if you do that. Tough. Instead of being a good soldier, be a good leader. Be that person that's going to inspire people. And guess how you inspire people? By what you do. You've inspired me by what you've done in the last 3-4 hours. You've inspired me. Got me excited again. Right? One more time, I get to see people light up and go make it happen. So do you get a feel now? How would you use based upon what you just learned? How would you use a sizzle call in that process to help people accelerate the exposures? How would you use a one-on-one sit-down campaign? How would you use the hot market approach? How would you use the different things, the tools that you have available to you? Because those tools come to life when you do something like this. You've got plenty to work with. You've got more to work with that if somebody doesn't show up now, you're not suicidal. Somebody misses the appointment. You're like, whatever, there's one right behind him. I missed one. I'll call him back later. Your posture goes to a different place. So, I'm excited for you. And for those of you at home, I hope you've done the work that these guys, ladies and gentlemen, did here. I hope you've done the work. Because if you have, we got a couple thousand people watching around the world right now. And a couple thousand people, even if they averaged 10, they didn't have the power of this group, they averaged 10. That's still 20,000 appointments scheduled in the next 10 days. Something powerful. And it's only the beginning, because if you'll teach it, you'll teach people to teach it, you'll teach their people to teach it, off we go. All right. I'm going to go into some leadership concepts here, okay? How's everybody doing kind of mentally? Yeah? You fresh? You'll be exhausted later. We got like 2 hours, and then you can go, get one of those big drinks with a big straw and go, wee! I don't want to think anymore. I have too many appointments. Success loves speed. Do you see why? Do you see why? I hope you do. What you just did was the airplane taking off. That's what you just did. You put the throttle down. Now you have to just go do the appointments, but the machine's already in motion. It's already happening. You're going to get to an altitude and decide what you're going to do. Here's the thing that I love about what we just did together. Whether you're level 1, level 2, or level 3 right now, every one of you, the levels, can do what we just did. Can't you? If you add up all the time that it's going to take to do the appointments that you're going to have to do, it's probably an hour each, would you say, to do the appointment? Drive there, meet them, whatever. An hour each, let's say. So on average, there's about 17 hours committed over the course of the next couple weeks. Some of you have committed 50 hours. Some of you have committed, whatever, bigger numbers. That's fine. It's not forever. It's for that takeoff. It's just to get moving. So if you're level 1, you can, in 10 to 20 hours a week today, you're ready to go. You can do this program, what we just did, and you can fill up your calendar and you can have a nice, solid business and start building, creating yourself some cash flow. Level 2, 20 to 40. Level 3, all in. So now I'm going to take inventory. Okay? And I'm not judging in any direction. And I'm not saying any of you have to do this right this moment, but here's what I'm saying. In the calendar year 2014, how many are prepared to do level 3 at some point? Show of hands. Okay, fantastic, wonderful. And you know now what it's going to take. It's 80 hours of what you just did. Plus talking to people and meeting people and doing all that stuff. You know it now. You got a taste of it. How many people are, this year they're going to take a 90-day period of time, do level 2? Level 2. Fantastic. Wonderful. How many people are going to do level 1? Wonderful. Congratulations. Fantastic, fantastic. And guess what? At every one of the levels, you can have success. And even if you're level 1, you're going to get momentum, success, cash flow, and guess what that's going to get you curious about doing? Maybe level 2. And then you go, you know what? I'm making some money here. Maybe I'm going to go do one of those level 3s. Now, I want you to understand what we did in the last 3 hours and what you do in a 90-day game plan, you don't have to do after the 90 days. You can throttle back, have life, have balance, not be freaked out. Like I told you, I'm an introverted person. So this 90-day game plan helps me because I can mentally get in this zone of recruiting and stay there for that period of time. And then mentally I'm done with that. And now I'm supporting, working, training, driving in depth, encouraging, motivating, inspiring the rest of the group. And that's what I really enjoy more than the phase 1. When you're recruiting hardcore. I enjoy that more. That's just me. Some people love to stay there. Do what we did the last 3 hours. They stay there all year long. That's just not my personality. It's hard for me. So all about exposures. It's all about the calendar, the appointments, and telling the story. That's it. There's no magic about it. You got to do the work in order to be able to get there. We talked about the magic number, 20. How many people have removed all doubt that they are capable of recruiting 20 people in a relatively short period of time? How many people are totally confident now that you could do it? You can do it. It's just add more time, stir, and it'll be done. You don't even need to be that good. All you got to do is be busy. And it'll take care of itself. We already talked about how great the numbers are in network marketing. With 2 out of 10 joining on average, here's the other great thing about speed and a 90-day game plan. All the numbers that apply in a traditional big group don't apply during your 90 days because when you're accelerating it, the numbers are much higher. Your energy's higher, your passion's higher, the intensity's higher, the attraction is higher. So if it's normally 2, it's not going to be 2. It's going to move to 3, 4, 5. You're going to see much higher conversion. We talked about this, and I need you to understand that while you're here in this group, everybody's got your back. Everybody's in the 1%. They've traveled here. They're high-fiving you. Congratulations, well done. But as soon as you leave here, you're going to be faced with the other 98% that are going to try to start planting seeds of doubt in your mind. What happened to you out in Las Vegas? What happened? This is weird. This is strange. I don't know if I like this person that came back. All kinds of little seeds of doubt. You got to deal with the pessimists and realists in life. We talked about these 3 stages. Invisible to average is about you recruiting. I gave you a roadmap to be able to go recruit. Average to leader is about duplication, daily method of operation, and getting people started properly. Leader to legend is what I just showed you how to do. How to take a group and inspire them to book 1,900 appointments in 3 hours. 17 each on average. And here's what a leader does. They inspire people to do something that they wouldn't have done if that leader hadn't been there. If we didn't do what we just did the last 3 hours, how many appointments would you have booked today? This week? This month? You got to give people an excuse and a vision. What did I do? I just said, look, if we do this together, here's the results we're going to get. Here's the vision. Here's the game plan, how we're going to do it. Here's some rewards for getting to the top. Here's some penalties, friendly penalties for not getting to the top. You see what I mean? Here's some support. We're going to do it together. We're going to help each other. You understand? That's what leaders do. Promotion. Promoting this inside of your team. Teaching this concept where you can go past this 5 and 25 and all of a sudden have a group that's running away from you. You know how you get a group running away from you? Fill up the calendar of that group. Fill up the calendar. And all they got to do is tell the story. We talked about the structure of the 90-day game plan. Decision, preparation, pre-launch, launch, event at the end, optional. We talked about designing your game plan. What's going to be the theme? This Blitz Day, do you think the Blitz Day might be an important part of filling up your 90 days? You need a picture of that? Got it? Your 90-day game plan story. Part of your story can be coming here. You can go back to people and say, hey, listen, I came here. I got the roadmap for how people get to $1 million a year in network marketing. I got it. And I can show you how to get there because I'm going to go do it. That could be part of your story. Why are you doing this? What results are you expecting? How are people going to benefit? What kind of people are you looking for? What's your game plan to make it happen? What kind of support are you going to provide? Tell that story to people when you sit down with them and do your little appointment when you get home. Tell that story. Watch how they light up. That's fun. Understanding. What happened to this side of the list in the last 3 hours? Not for everybody, but there were some that still had fear and doubts and concerns. But what made it go away? What made it fade? The activity. The activity is the thing that opened it up for them. The activity is the thing that helped them get to where they needed to go. The activity started to move that fear into a small little corner. How cool is that? If you ever start feeling any of this, being overwhelmed when you leave here, just know that that's a clue that your activity's dropped. So we talked about decision, preparation, negotiating with family, scheduling your commitment. What are the hours that you're willing to put in? What's the sacrifice that you're willing to commit? Eliminating the distractions that could possibly get in the way. Getting your tools, recruiting your inner circle. Putting your group goals into motion, getting commitments from everybody, creating some competition. Did you see the value of competition? There's some people that were moving a lot faster because there was a little competition. If we didn't have a competition, we just said, well, just do it, and we're not going to put it up on the board, and you just have till 2 o'clock free time. Half of you would have went to the pool. You would have. You came here to learn, and you would have went to the pool. What do you think your downline's going to do? They're going to the pool. So you got to create these little tricks to get people engaged again. You know, like when you have kids and you say, oh, will you take out the garbage? And they're like, eh. You say, well, I'll time you. It's just a trick. And they know it's a trick, but they still can't help it. All right, how much? How fast? What was my record last time? Click. And they're off running. They just needed a little excitement, a little something. You know what I mean? Set your dates. We've already put some things in motion now already. But set your dates as far as when you want to do your preparation time, your pre-launch, your launch. Figure out when events are. Don't get too hung up on it, okay? I just want you to get into activity. The big key is that you go out and recruit 20 people. Yes. Whisper campaign. All I want you to do is when you're bringing in your inner circle, all the whisper campaign is say, hey, I haven't launched it yet. Here's what I came home to talk to you about. I'm about to do something special. I just went and learned from an expert, a person who knows how to create huge money in network marketing, and I've got the roadmap, and I want to show it to you. And you might have an interest, you might not, but here's why I'm doing it. Here's my story, blah, 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 blah. Pre-launch. Pre-launch. Bring your inner circle in. You're still in recruiting mode, and now you're driving into depth. You're starting to drive into depth, helping people with blitz days and sizzle calls and live events and hot market approaches, one-on-ones, two-on-ones. You're driving into the group. If you look at your group, imagine that your group, your team today was your downline. Okay? And your job was to inspire that group It would be amazing, right? That's what you're doing in pre-launch phase. You take that initial team and you're just driving it, trying to inspire. Did you notice that some people responded really well to competition and some didn't? Some needed nurturing. Some needed a little alone time. Some needed a coach here and then step back. Some people needed to be smacked. Say, come on. Come on. Why are you here? You came all the way to Vegas. Let's go. Let's do this. So you get to learn the dynamics of people. And then we talked about the launch. All about exposures. All about filling the calendar. Going all in. Massive action. Recruiting focus. Falling in love with the phone. Were you surprised how fast your phone died? Amazing, isn't it? That phone battery disappears in a hurry when you're working this hard, when you're driving it this hard. All of this stuff is what you're going to be doing during the launch. That's what you're filling your day with. All of your free time, whatever that time is. Whether it's all out going crazy or it's 10 to 20 hours, 20 to 40 hours, you decide what it's going to be. And you just make sure that the hours that you have are white, hot, intense. They're not casual. Make sense? All right.